Hello and welcome again to another episode of Battle Ready. Well, Drake and I have finished playing through all of the General's Handbook battle plans.
We did.
And we've played a couple of them a couple times.
Yep.
And it's time to discuss which ones were good and which ones were not. So we thought we'd go through them one by one here. And now, disclaimer, as always, right? We are reviewing these from a casual player's perspective.
Yes.
If you're a tournament player and you love certain tournaments and you've been into the meta and you know that certain plans really benefit certain armies over other armies, you're so far beyond us. It's not you're way out there. I don't we cannot help you. But if you are like us, you play in your garage with some friends, play in the basement, you're just having a good time moving models around and killing each other's plastic toys.
Die, plastic toy.
Then this is what we're looking for. Are these in that setting, in that sort of casual setting where you're just making armies that sound fun and you're going to go in there, you're not playing with skew lists, are they fun? So let's go through it. The first one is Geomantic Pulse.
Geomantic.
So basically there's 4 objectives right on a line in the center of the table, and one is the Pulse.
Ooh.
It's worth extra points, and the ones next to it are worth slightly less points. And then it moves. So each battle round, it goes back and forth. What did you think of this one?
It was okay.
I liked it. I like the battle plans where objectives move. I like battle plans that force you to move. If you can just step on an objective and sit there, it's not as exciting to me. Now, that might be beneficial for something like Virgil or something like zombies, right? You get them on there and they're like, yeah, come at me, bro. Try to move me off this objective.
Karajan, okay.
Yeah. So there is that. And then, of course, movement helps some armies, right? Slanesh is good at moving. Caradron are good at moving, right? So, different armies are going to benefit.
Stormcast are kind of good at moving.
But I do like, I don't know about that. But I do like that the battle plans that create movement, and I do like this. And plus, since you sort of know where the points are going to be, sometimes if you have a Nurgle army that's real slow, you might just decide, all right, I'm not going to get those points over there while they're on that side of the table. I'm going to attack this side of the table, the other side, knowing that those points are going to come to me, right? So
or you just flood the whole table.
So for me, all right, there's no side thumbs. It's either thumb up or thumb down. For me, thumb up. Geomantic Pulse could say,
why do you do this to me?
Come on, thumb up or thumb down?
It's in the middle.
Thumb up, thumb down.
Fine.
Oh.
I did not like it then.
All right.
I liked it kind of.
Nexus Collapse.
Already.
So Nexus Collapse had 6 objectives.
And a weird diamond pattern.
Yeah, and it's sort of a diamond pattern. The special rule for this one, what is it?
On a 4, the person who's losing on victory points.
Oh, that's right.
They roll a 4 up, and if you get it, the thing goes boom.
Yeah.
This is the one where you spitted my necromancer on the wall with your stupid frigate.
The battle we played with this one was really fun. But this particular rule where the person who's got fewer points can blow up objectives, right? And so that almost seems like it should be a catch-up mechanic where you can, whatever your opponent is defending, you can take that away so they get fewer points.
Except you want to stay just behind. That's
the thing. It gives, when we played this, I made sure to get, Drake got 5 points the first turn.
You got 4.
And I made sure to get 4. I could have gotten a 5th point. I was like, nah, I don't want that 5th point. I want the ability to pull objectives and then, leapfrog ahead.
I was like, oh.
So
no.
I think the deployment is fine. I think the number of objectives is fine. Tying it to who has fewer points, not only does that encourage some gaminess to it that I wasn't a big fan of, because it's in a real fight, you should just be pressing your advantage and killing, right? But I also don't like that it's extra gamey. It's not like, whoever controls the special tower gets the thing. It's just like whoever's behind on points. So I'm gonna down it.
I am upping it. It was fun.
The battle we played on it, despite those flaws, was super fun.
You spitted my necromancer on the wall.
All right, lines of communication.
Down.
3 objectives and a line in the middle. What was the special rule on this one?
You can whoever's going second can choose a phase to disrupt. That phase, it's either no one can spend command points, or on a 4-up you spend 2 command points.
Oh yeah,
Did I get it right?
yeah. So I actually think this one was fine.
Only pretenders can win.
Yeah, with all their command points. I thought this one was fine. I think this one is it's also sort of a catch-up mechanic, right? It's trying to give a little boost to the player who went second. I don't think it's a super fun one.
Yeah, this one's a thumbs down for me.
It's not super fun, but I think that it's a pretty light touch.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is 3 objectives in the center. Standard. If I had to pick, I'd give it a thumbs up, but it's not an enthusiastic thumbs up.
This is a thumbs down for me. I did not like that I had to spend extra command points.
Okay. All right. Every step is forward.
I like this one.
This one has the weirdest deployment. I think I almost want to give it a thumbs down for that. The deployment is so weird. But
I said a little line of rods right there.
Yeah, because you get this little tiny area, but you still have to be 9 inches away from your opponent. So you have like 2 inches at the very edge of the table where you can put your guys. But this is the one that where you charge, you count as an increased number of models on objectives, and if you retreat, you cannot contest.
The Glotkin gave me a real bad time on this one.
Yeah. So I love this one. I love ones that encourage you to fight. I love ones that you count for more on the charge, so you always want to be on the charge. It means that even if your opponent is dug in, it's not impossible for you to charge on and get your points for that turn, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's going to be hard to hold them on that turn, you can at least get your points, and that encourages you to fight, encourages people to come together. Yeah, despite the weird deployment, which I am not a fan of, I'm thumbs upping this one.
Same here.
Yeah, what did you like?
I liked that. First of all, it's hilarious that I had just a tiny little string of glots staring down Gluto.
The deployment is the negative, but I'm still thumbing up.
It was just so funny what happened. Bro couldn't blow it up for like 5 turns.
All right, next, limited resources. So there's 6 objectives sort of on a couple of diagonals.
This one was fun.
And this one is super fun. So each one is supposed to be like a well,
or a pit,
and you're supposed to be siphoning off the water. And so you can siphon off the water and get it, I think, 2 turns.
Yeah, 2 turns in a row.
You can no longer get points for that objective, but you can still contest it to stop your opponent from getting points. So it's this really interesting thing where you're still trying to get points, but you actually use them up, right?
Yeah.
The objective becomes useless to you, but you can't leave it
because
then your opponent could get on it, right? So it's this really interesting where you get some points in the early game, and then by the late game, you're like, oh, I don't want to. I could go over there and get points, but then you'll get points, so I got to stand back and hold. It was really fun. I actually think limited resources is a candidate for my favorite.
One thing you can do in this one, it might be a little bit gamey, but one thing you can do is put one model's toe on the objective.
Sure.
Contest it. Enemy comes and takes it. Kill that one model so you're not on the objective. Then push the whole unit onto the objective, so that resets the countdown clock.
Oh, is that how it works? It has 2 in a row?
Two in a row, so you can reset the countdown clock.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe if you just have one guy with one toe on it, maybe I just bring in on 2 guys with 2 toes on it. You never know.
Yeah, but then I bring 3 guys.
Right, then I'll bring 4 guys with 4 toes.
5.
So, but overall, I really like this one. Did you have fun with this one?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a big thumbs up.
This is a thumbs up.
I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's in the discussion. It's in the discussion.
Spring the trap.
Spring the trap. This one is a weird one. So there's those deployment zones are the middle of the table. So there's no deployment on this quarter or on that quarter.
It's just.
But in the middle, you have the 2 deployment zones. But you each can get, I think it's D3 units.
Yeah, D3.
Off the table, and then they can come in.
The sides.
And
this one felt
pretty. I sort of thought it was cool. I think that I struggled with this because I had a slower army and I had trouble getting to those.
What army did I play on this one?
I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't a slower one. Maybe I had a fast one. But I had trouble getting to the side objectives.
Oh, you weren't. You didn't have. You were like boxed in a Slanesh, and I was like orcs or something. I thought, haha, he's boxed himself in. You immediately got to the side object, so I'm like, ow.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't remember this battle plan at all. Then I guess. But I thought this one was fine. I thought it was fine. I like that you get to have some off
Off
board
time.
guys
Yeah.
because that's not something that every army gets, right?
It's
And so
only like 5 armies
only
that
a
have
few.
that.
And a lot of them have deep strikers, right? Not guys that come in from off the table. So it was sort of cool to like, every army gets to have a little taste of that.
Poison
Exactly.
tongues.
So I'm gonna give this one a thumbs up as well.
Same.
Yeah. All right. So
Fountains of Frost.
that was the first 6.
Second 6.
Second 6, Fountains of Frost. 6 objectives, and 3 on the edge of your territory, 3 on the edge of my territory. And this is the one where the locust, if you have an Andorian locust, it counts for 10.
And if you have 3 more models on it, they can take damage.
If you have 3 more units. Yeah.
So you can't be like, everyone stand.
If there's so that is a cool rule. I do like that idea that if you've got a bunch of people contesting, then they can all take damage. But with 6 objectives, there was just never going to be 3 units. That would be a really cool rule if there were like 3 objectives or even 4 objectives.
Oh, with 3 objectives straight in a line.
Yeah. But with 6 objectives and scattered a little bit more around the board, you're just never going to have that. It's not going to be important, and I don't think it was important in our game.
Yeah.
10 models for a locust is pretty cool, but what that really means in this one is that you're going to have your locusts stay in the backfield and stand on an objective worth 10, and then hope he doesn't die so that he can hold it. I mean, it's okay. So I think that those rules would have been cool in a different setup.
Yes.
I think this setup with the 6 objectives is fine. I think these rules are fine, but you put them together. I don't hate this battle plan. I would totally play this battle plan again, but if I have to choose,
thumbs down.
Right. The ice fields.
I remember this one and I loved it.
All right. 6 objectives in a circle. Standard scoring. The only difference is if you run, you take D3 mortals.
And if you charge.
And if you charge, you can take D3 if there's a 1 in either of your charge dice.
Yeah.
I thought this was stupid.
I loved it.
Why did you like it?
Well, first I was playing with Wah.
Yeah, so
but the second
that's already
thing
something.
Was that if you have big units, you can just tank and be like, it's 2 guys, and I would just go.
What does that have to do with the battle plan?
You said I was stupid first, so I can.
Okay, all right. Well, I hated it because running is important in this game. The movement phase is potentially the most important phase, and so putting a penalty on running, that was dumb. That made the phase way more boring because then you don't want to run, so everybody's walking. And then charging. The reason I love that earlier battle plan was because it encouraged charging. It made you want to charge. And now, when you charge, you're going to take mortals, potentially. And it's like, man, what is going on here?
They had to Grot write these rules.
They had to Grot write the rules. So it takes the things that should be the most exciting and discourages them. So it's actively making the game worse by discouraging some of the most important elements. This one gets an unmitigated, unadulterated, no hesitation. Bam! Thumbs down.
I liked it because it was like it's not that it discourages it. It says there's a risk.
Yeah, that's called discouragement because there's no risk.
No, but I like it because it makes it so that you don't just run everything at once.
I think you should be able to. I think that's how you get into combat faster.
That's
the game. Get into combat faster. And how do you do that? You run up the board and then you charge. What can't you do in this one? Run up the board or charge.
You can totally do that.
No,
what you can just do is have sacrificial pawns.
But then when they die, they're dead. And so they can't charge. So you're still walking up. You're just walking up with a smaller army.
No, you have your big things run because they can tank. Oh no, reverse card.
All right.
I like this one.
The ice fields were not my favorite.
That's insane. These are great.
This is in the conversation for my least favorite. All right. Power Flux. Oh my gosh. Did I ever love this one?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
So there are 4 objectives, 2 in the territories, 2 on the edges of the territories. And each turn, whoever goes second turns on either the
A or
side
B.
ones or the territory ones.
Yeah.
And so it was a big decision whether or not you're going to go first. You're going to go first or second in the turn if you won the roll off.
Yeah.
Then when you have you have to decide. Oh shoot! And I'm going to go sides. Am I going to go in? Because the one that's in your territory is easy to control, right?
Yeah.
But then the one that's in their territory is easy to control for them.
Yeah.
And then if you go on the sides and you're spreading out,
It's hard.
and you have to. And if somebody makes the other choice for you, you don't win the roll off. They make the choice, or you do win the roll off, and so they get to make the choice. And you're like, oh shoot, they picked the other ones. You're like, all right, now how do I maneuver and go? Lots of movement in this, lots of tactical consideration. I like this one. I like this one a lot.
I might be a little biased because playing this one was hard. But I don't like that someone, like, they could deploy exactly 9 inches out, then walk just in front and, like, build a giant line so that they can't touch the objectives.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. Or at least I don't think that's likely to happen, because then you just come in and kill them. Right?
Yeah, but then they just have more, and then more, and then more, and more.
I think you're playing somebody with 5,000 points compared to your 2,000. No, I think. I mean, maybe you didn't have a good experience with this one, right? And that is a factor to consider. Something might be super cool on paper, but if you actually play it and it sucks,
it sucked.
Then it's not good.
It might be
right?
how the terrain was, because it was super duper hard to get to these side
Yeah,
objectives.
the terrain was pretty dense on that one.
And Trug beat me up.
Trug.
Stupid Trug!
So, but I loved it. I love the tactical considerations. Love the movement.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up for me.
I have to say down.
You're gonna say down on that?
I'm gonna say down on this one.
Oh my gosh, you're a crazy person.
For the last one.
All right, the Frigid Zephyr. Okay, 3 objectives, sort of in a diagonal. You can't see anything more than 12 inches away unless you roll a die at the beginning of each turn, and because there's a storm, you roll a die at the beginning of each turn, and the storm might go away.
It went away turn 1.
Yeah, on ours it went away turn 1.
It was stupid.
This is dumb. This is dumb. So I shouldn't say it's dumb, but it is. The 3 objectives.
That denies itself.
3 objectives. It's fine.
It's a good introductory battle plan.
That's a thing. Yes. If there were for a general's handbook where there's supposed to be all this additional stuff layered on top, this is dumb. If this were part of a beginner pack, like, in the core rule book, here's your first 6 battle plans that you can play with.
This would be in there.
This would be fine. It would be totally fine, because the rule that gets layered on top is super simple, and that's you're not visible beyond 12 inches.
Yeah.
That's for shooting. That's for magic. Do you have to be visible for command points? I think you might have to be visible for command points. So that means
but most are range 12.
Yeah, so only your general or totems are 18. So, but for generals and totems, that's going to be an issue. So it's real simple. Now, in our particular game, it didn't matter after the first battle round, because we rolled that 6 and it was done.
I was like, oh, okay.
But it's totally fine. But if you're expecting General's Handbook and you want your cool locus to mean something, and you want neat stuff, this was just super plain. Super plain. Is there anything wrong with it? No, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Does it belong in here with everything else?
No.
Okay.
Next.
No reward without risk.
I deny your reward.
All right. 5 objectives. Looks like the 5 on a d6, right?
But
and
like a plus sign.
Only special rule on this one. This one also only has 1 special rule.
Kaboom!
The special rule on this one is anytime a wizard dies,
on a
4-up, it explodes and everything around it takes d3.
With Carrot Acolytes, the second they lose their wizard keyword, does that count as a wizard dying?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because the wizard keyword is removed from play.
No, it says when a wizard is slain. Actually, so when it's only the unit is a wizard, and then once it's below, it's no longer a wizard. So by the time it's slain, it probably doesn't go off.
Unless they get wrecked in 1 hit, because then they're a wizard and then they're dead.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So if you can wipe out a Carrot Acolyte
if you can one-shot the unit,
you go boom.
So again, this is another thing that almost feels like it could be in a beginner battle pack, because it's just 1 rule
Kamui
layered on top. But this one is a little bit more meaningful in this battle pack.
Yes.
Because in this battle pack, you're encouraged to bring wizards. There's spell lore, there's primal dice. So wizards probably are happening in most armies.
Boom.
And so there's a good chance something like this will happen. Now, we've played this a couple times and have had exactly 0 wizards explode, despite ample opportunity. Wizards have certainly died, but they have not exploded.
They decided to not go boom.
So
they just decided to keel over.
If that's the case, you've got 5 objectives, basic battle plan.
Yeah.
All right, this is not the most exciting battle plan in the world, but given, and like I said, it's pretty simple. So I don't think this is my favorite ever.
I give it a thumbs up.
I think I have to give, between the two, I think I have to give it a thumbs up. All right, last one, Towers in the Tundra.
This is a double thumbs down.
So
it's awful.
There's 2 objectives, but then also each player gets a tower. And the points come from
holding the tower.
Taking the towers. So I think you do get points for the objectives as well.
Yeah.
But the towers is way more meaningful.
But it's garrisoning.
But it's garrisoning. So you have to have something garrisonable. You have to worry about garrison rules. The 2 objectives, the 2 towers.
Really
I guess there are those 2 other objectives on the side, but really only the towers matter. So it's really ends up just being a fight in the middle, and then whoever can push through is going to win.
It's not good.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Maybe if the objectives on the side were more important.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or like they were focal points and you use that to zap enemies in the wizard tower.
Yeah, well, because there's only 2 objectives, even if you're not counting the wizard towers, because there's only 2 objectives, it's really easy for my army to go on this side, your army to go on that side,
and then
we just sit there staring at each other. What's going to happen? But because of that, then it's also easy to go on to the other side's tower. Yeah. So the towers became important. I don't
like this one.
I didn't like it either. I don't think there's if on paper it doesn't seem that dumb. It seems like it could be cool, but in practice when we were playing it, it wasn't fun. It felt like there was one objective. It felt like realistically
you had
each
one
just
objective
attacking the other one tower. And one objective just isn't that super fun.
Also, my bird vaporized.
Yeah, well, that's because you put him in line for my what I kill you with?
Great and clean one with the worst weapons.
Yeah, great unclean one. Hit you with my bell. Bang!
It was actually, I think.
Bang!
I think it was actually the Nurglings that got him.
Well, so Towers in the Tundra.
Down.
All right, I did not keep track. I had a surprising number of downs. Actually, I thought I liked this a lot more. So overall, now let's talk about the battle pack. So just like Thondia made monsters good, right? You actually got a bonus point for killing a monster.
Yep.
Monsters did cooler stuff. There were a lot of battle tactics with monsters. Then we had the ones with the battle line guys and the ones with the little veterans, right? Now we have the wizard guys, and you get the primals and the lore of frost or whatever it's called.
Which is crazy
good spells. Looking at this battle pack, on the whole, what do you think of this battle pack?
Plus.
Yeah, I think so too. This has been probably my favorite battle pack. I like it because everybody's got access to wizards, right? So it's not like the monster situation.
Is there any army that doesn't have monsters?
Oh yeah, Nighthaunt.
Oh, Nighthaunt. Yeah, Nighthaunt was just sad.
Nighthaunt was just sad, that one. And
that's the only one though.
Also, the monsters in the monster faction, right? The monster season, like hero monsters were 1,000,000 times better than not hero monsters, right?
Except basically all monsters are hero
Whereas
monsters.
loci, are all small guys.
Yeah.
So everybody's locus is
tiny,
similar, right?
Wait, how? Oh yeah, locus has to have less than 10 wounds.
Yeah, it has to have 9 or less wounds and non-unique. So that puts everybody a little bit more on an equal footing. And I don't think the anti-magic stuff is particularly powerful in here.
Yeah.
But that makes sense if you want to
except for disrupting
push magic, then you should have some anti-magic stuff. I think the way that they did it before, where they were pushing battle line, but then they made the anti-battle line way stronger. Not good.
Extra damage was bad.
But on the whole, I think this has been good. I have liked many of the battle plans, and even the ones that I downvoted. I think there were only 2 that I hated. I think even the ones that I thought, well, if I have to choose between yay or nay, I'm giving them the nay.
But it would
I would play them again. if we rolled on the table and it's like, oh, let's play that one, I'd say,
Yeah.
okay, we'll play them. I think I would have a fun time with it. Just not towers.
Not towers.
Not the stupid one where you get hurt when you run.
No, I like that one. We're playing that
I know
one.
we're playing that one again.
Why not?
But so from a casual perspective, if you've been playing this game and you've been interested in going beyond the core book a little bit, and you want to you and your friends grab a General's Handbook and decide to, get some games in the basement, this was a pretty good one. On the whole, I would say this was pretty good.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on the Handbook General?
Generales! No,
Right.
we got
Well, tell us what you think, especially from a casual perspective. If you're a hardcore tournament player and you've played all of these 100 times, awesome, right? But I think that's looking at it from a slightly different perspective. So you might say this is the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, and it might be a little bit different for you. But if you've been watching and doing casual play, like I said, with friends, and you're just doing lists that are fun, you're just doing lists that have a bunch of guys, you're just going to play some Warhammer, you're not going to, skew into Oops All Dragons or something like that. This is a good variety pack, and it's got a lot of good stuff with it. Final thoughts? All right, this has been another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
Thanks so much for watching.